Hi, in today's lessons, just a short one this one, we're looking at the run that I just played from Calling Elvis by Dire Straits. It was from the album On Every Street. Can't remember what year, I think early 90s, 91, something like that. And I remember when I first heard that album, this little bit from this one song is the thing that stood out. Well, I like the whole album, but this little run really stood out. And the whole song sort of builds up to it, and it just everything stops and he plays this run. It's a cool little run. And it's a little bit harder than you might think. It's just pentatonic mostly, but it goes into blues scale a little bit. But it's a little bit fiddly to play. It's not too bad. So I'm just going to go through it really slowly in a few different stages. So hopefully you'll already be familiar with the B pentatonic minor scale and the B blues scale. I'll just play them. Okay, so B pentatonic minor. And B blues. Now what a lot of people do with both of those scales is add an extra note on the end, this note. Now if you're practicing the scale, I'm going to do another video on this actually, but if you're practicing a scale, it's best to land on the B at the end, the root note, and not add that note. But if you're improvising, then it's perfectly okay to add that extra note. It's just the next note or the second note of the scale up into the next octave. So it's just if you were going to continue into that next octave. So a lot of people add that extra note, and Mark Knopfler does on this one. So he's playing a sequence. Now a sequence is a series of notes from a scale, but basically playing the scale, but not in the usual order, so messing with the order of the scale. So you maybe play like the first three notes, then go back to the second note and play the second, third, fourth, go back to the third note, third, fourth, fifth. That's kind of an example of a sequence. So what it does here is the 10th fret on the first string, pull off to the 7th fret on the first string, and then the same thing on the second string, like this. And then we go back to the first string, 7th fret, and play that note, back to the second string, the 10, pull off to the 7 again. So if we put all that together, it's... And then after that, we play the 9 on the third string, so we're just coming down the scale. So... And then we just need to add the second string, 7th fret on the end of what we've just done. So really slowly. And that's the first section of this run. I'll play up to speed. The pull-offs are very important. For trying to get the phrasing and sounding the same as his, then you need to do the right pull-offs. Okay, so that's the first section. And then we go back to the third string, play the 9 with the third finger, hammer onto 10 with your fourth finger, which is the blues scale note, a flat 5, and then go to the second string again, play the 7. So it's very bluesy, this bit. And then we come back to the third string, 10, pull off to 9, pull off to 7. So it's... And on the end of that, I think if you listen very carefully, he doesn't actually pick this note. It's a hammer on, a 9 on the fourth string. So from the beginning of the run, it's this. Speed. And I would definitely think of that as one half, what we've just done, and then the next part as the next half. It's easier to sort of switch your thinking for this second half, even though the whole run just flows in one go. Just switch your brain into the second half at this point. So the second half is another sequence. We're playing the third string, 9 with the third finger, pull off to 7 with the first finger, like this. Then play the 9 on the fourth string, third finger, and then back to the 7 on the 3rd string. So I put all 4 of those together. And then a very similar thing on the next pair of strings, 4th string and 5th string, but one difference is when we go back to the 4th string for what would be the last note, like this, that's what you'd expect. He doesn't actually put his finger on. It's an open string that he plays. That's possibly a mistake. That's definitely what he does. So it's these 4 notes would be this. I've played slowly like that, it doesn't sound right, but that's definitely the notes. So I'll put those 2 little sections together. And then the very last part, we go to the 5th string, play a 7 with the 1st finger, hammer onto 8 with 2nd, hammer onto 9 with 3rd. Another bluesy bit. And then 4th string 7, 1st finger, 3rd string 7, 1st finger. And that note just kind of hangs and just rings for a bit. And then you just play the root note, the B, 9, 3rd finger on the 4th string. So those little, that group of notes there is. So the second half of the solo is this, the second half of the run. So now I'll play the first half slowly. Second half slowly. First half up speed. Second half up speed. Put them both together slowly. Up speed. That's it. So as with anything like this, it's go through it slowly and carefully, one note at a time or one phrase at a time, and then string it all together at the end. It's not too difficult, but I think getting the speed might be the trickiest part. But yeah, a bit of a classic Knopfler run, that one. Any questions, please put them in the comments. And if you want to see any other lessons on Dire Straits guitar parts or anything else really, then put them in the comments. Okay, and click like if you like this one, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks.